Hey, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. I am Shanna Christmas, stand-up comedian, writer, and occupational therapy assistant traveling all over the world. Or just the state, well, just the cool states in the city parts of the states where there's things to do, not, you get it. Welcome back to another episode of Healthcare is a Joke, where I cover all kinds of crazy things that happen to me at work as a traveler and just as an OTA in general. If you're new here, please make sure you subscribe to my channel because sometimes I'll be doing this and sometimes I'll be doing the news. Whatever it is that's happening that's terrible, I'm your girl. Let's get into it. Now, as promised, I've been promising to talk to you guys about the segs because you guys are dirty people and you want to hear about elderly people getting it on. And I would say I haven't seen a lot of it with my own eyes. I have heard about it. Just recently, though, I was going into a patient's room to pick them up for therapy, and I can only see his legs sticking out of the sheet from behind the curtain, and his sheet was kind of going up and down vigorously like this. And he was watching maybe the 4th hour of Good Morning America, the hour with like Hoda Kotb and that Bush girl. Yeah, he was watching that hour of Good Morning America, and I'm guessing he was going at it. And I go in there and I was like, hey, you want to get up for therapy? And you can't see his hands. And he's like, come back later. Like, okay. So I'm assuming that he was getting his Good Morning America out. I mean, where else are you supposed to do it? Some of these people, need supervision in the shower so they don't fall and hurt themselves. Some of these people, but doesn't mean that your weenus doesn't work. Unfortunately, ladies, the weenus still works. We're still bothered by them, even in their old age. So no escaping an old man weenus. And then I was told by my coworker that she went in to see him shortly after me, and she just did the therapy anyway. She just like, oh yeah, we sat at the edge of the bed and did leg exercises. And it was still hanging out of his brief. I just didn't bother tucking it back in. I'm let him deal with that. I'm like, how are you going to make somebody exercise with their weenus hanging? It's bad when, as a therapist, you're so busy that you don't even care that someone's wiener is hanging out while you're doing your job. You're just like, as long as you kick those legs and pump those ankles, we're going to do some marches. We're going to ignore your dong that's hanging out right now. I have 15 patients to see. I don't have time for this. That is the state of healthcare right now. We just ignore that you're out, We don't have time to give you privacy, okay? We don't have time to come back. If we come back, it's not going to be, we're not coming back. We don't have time. Unfortunately, we don't. I mean, in the past I have. It's always, I wouldn't say always. It's usually the males that are doing the behaviors in that manner. I remember when I was a CNA, a certified nursing assistant, I was that first. And I remember working at a place and we had a gentleman. I wouldn't call him a gentleman, I guess, but he was like our resident pervert. He would totally do the thing in front of people on purpose. Like he would get a rise out of it. And his room was facing the entrance of the facility. It had one of those rounded driveways, and his window was facing, it was right next to the entrance doors from when you park and walk in. And he would just kind of open the curtain and just kind of plop himself in front of the open curtain and just be the welcoming committee. And I'm not sure why they didn't move him when they knew he was doing that. But I imagine going in there is kind of hit or miss, right? You go in there, you don't know if his thing's going to be out. We just don't know. You're like, it's like a lion tamer. You're like, you know what? Just leave him be. That's fine. We'll just let him sit there and do that instead of touching him. Ugh. I have heard stories of women doing this too. In the shower, I feel like I've heard this a few times where the women are cleaning a little bit too long down there. Because see, here's the thing about the men and the women. The men, they don't clean. Oh, wash your noodle. The men aren't really getting down in the shower like that. But the women, since it's more hidden and internal, we can kind of get away with it in the shower. So someone told me that one of their patients was, washing themselves and getting down there and was just down there a little bit too long with the washcloth. But number one, I am happy they used the washcloth. So number two, fine, not appropriate audience. We can always turn away. If your facility doesn't have shower curtains in the shower, please suggest that to the people in charge. It keeps the heat in for them when they're, when people are opening doors. It also keeps you from seeing them doing the thing, If you're from therapy, you're getting your minutes anyways. Let's let them spend a few more extra minutes down there making themselves feel alive in a place where, everything sucks. It's the end of their lives, just let them have a good time. But that's my only story about with women doing it. I haven't really experienced that or seen it. But I do think that's probably going to be our way of getting it done, ladies. We're going to have to just take a shower. Take a nice, good shower. They've got these shower chairs with a hole in the bottom. So for people that have a hard time standing up, you can still get to your parts. I think that's probably a better solution, So if they aren't standing, they can still get their hand down there and just scrub it and rub it. And I think, hey, if I had a chair in my shower, I might be more inclined to do it too. And I'm not even at that age yet. Sometimes the soap hits you and it feels slippery. And whatever. I wish I had more stories, but I kind of am glad I don't, because there is something jarring about walking in on a person who looks like your grandma or your grandpa doing the thing that you don't even want to see a young person really doing it. You ever been to like a nudist beach and you're like, ooh, this is going to be so sexy, and all the people that are naked are like 65 and older. You're like, these aren't the people I wanted to see. No. It's kind of like that, but they're getting themselves to the finish line in front of you. Anyway, no judgment here, guys. Sex is a natural thing. We all do it. There are high prevalences of STIs in skilled facilities. If you look at the Villages, that's like a senior community in Florida, and they fornicate with a reckless abandon and drive golf carts everywhere. So there is hope for us all. If you can still get it up, if you still got your hips, work those hips out, ladies. We got to do our exercises so we don't get, we want to make sure we can still get it in if we find somebody cute later in life that we want on top of us. Or maybe it's our turn to get on top. Maybe after we're 70, we got to take charge because the men don't have enough stamina. You know what I mean? Who knows? You know what? I think maybe I'll ask an old person who's still active to see what's going on there. Maybe we'll do a special edition of this episode or this series where I talk to old people about freaky, sneaky stuff. It's got to be cool, though. Maybe a 90-year-old. See what's up. Sometimes. But anyway, if you've enjoyed these stories from me today, you can find more crazy stories like that in my book. Please go check it out at shannachristmas.com and subscribe to this channel. And I'll be back next week with more stories from healthcare. And they're not going to be good. So I hope you enjoyed this one. It might be the last one I do. See you next time. Bye.